to the user. It's safe as no credit card is needed. The first 30 days are free and you can subscribe and receive a box for your TV to stream the same content.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited 665-3336 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
Good afternoon, assalamu alaikum, and welcome to See Results on IBN TV as well as the IBN TV Facebook page and the See Results Facebook page. I am Sir Ijaz and today is Thursday, and that means we'll be doing mathematics in the first hour and creative writing in the second hour. Now, of course, as you know, this week we didn't have our weekly report on Monday. We pushed it forward to Thursday, so we're going to begin today highlighting those students who did, very well on those quizzes that were due last week Friday at 11:59 p.m. English, mathematics, as well as creative writing. And be reminded that today is Thursday, therefore you only have one more day to finish this week's quizzes, right? We have a math and ALA quiz as well as an expository writing piece for you to complete by 11:59 p.m. tomorrow, and that is on our Edmodo class. If you are not yet on our Edmodo class, you can visit edmodo.com on any web browser or download the Edmodo app on your smart devices, and you can create an account, and the access code is there, J55AHA. Parents can also make accounts, and if you were on our previous Edmodo class, you can just use your same account under classes, click join a class, and then enter this code. And with this new class, we do have a little waiting time for you to be approved. It's only about a day or so. Wouldn't be anything more than that, but you don't be alarmed if you don't see work right away as soon as you've joined, right? And of course, all of our previous episodes from the beginning of See Results in November of last year up until now is available on our Facebook page, right? On facebook.com /See Results IBN TV 8 and on our YouTube channel, right? Just type See Results into the search bar on YouTube and you will get all of our episodes with all of the content in the episodes displayed in the description for each video. So you have all of that to help you. We are on the home stretch, as we say. SCA is just around the corner, so let's take advantage of everything that is being offered here, and we hope that it is benefiting all of you. So for as of now, or as of when this report was generated, we have 239 students working together with us currently on the home stretch class, right? 121 students submitted the English quiz, which was based on a graphic to interpret a poster, and 91% of the students passed with a 77% average. So congratulations to you guys. 109 students submitted in mathematics, and of course in the last several weeks we've gotten into more challenging mathematics, as we've covered a lot of the easier stuff. And you know, we had a quiz here that was solely on section 3 type questions, and that of course is questions 41 to 45, and those are the most difficult questions on the paper, right? Even there, that is where the top students would even lose some marks here and there on occasion, right? So don't be too alarmed by these statistics. They were two very challenging questions. Well, one a lot more challenging than the other, but still both challenging. And 42% of our students passed with a 35% average, but we were still able to get about 5 or 6 students or so who got full marks in those section 3 type questions, and we had several students who got a little bit closer to that, right, but not exactly the full percentage. But as I said, don't be too alarmed by that, because the quiz was just comprised of 2 very difficult questions. And seeing that it posed a challenge to the students, we've already covered that on Monday. So you can look at Monday's episode either on Facebook or on YouTube, and you will see those questions, and we went through it thoroughly. So anybody who didn't do well on that question should be able to see where they went wrong, and hopefully be able to apply the strategies that we used in any similar question that you might encounter in the SCA paper, right? One of the questions was unequal sharing, and we know that's a question or a subject that gives people a lot of difficulty. Now, of course, on Sunday we posted, as I said, 3 new assignments, and those are due tomorrow, July 10th at 11:59 p.m. So be sure to do that, and don't worry about the score, guys. Even in the mathematics, when I say don't worry, I mean, yes, you are trying to get full marks, but you are going to learn either way. Even if you don't get the full marks in the questions, right? When you get it wrong, you're going to get the correct answer, as we always remind you, and that you can use those correct answers to try to figure out, well, how we got it. And in circumstances like these, where it was very, very challenging, we will come and do it on the program for you afterwards, right? So you can get it in more detail. So please don't hesitate to do so. Now, let's look at those students. You know, despite it all, despite the challenges in the mathematics, we had 3 students that were able to get full marks in both the ELA and the math: Amara Mohammed, Kyle Ramkalawan, and Samir Rupan. So congratulations to you guys. And we did have a few more students who got 100 in the math, but they did not get 100 in the ELA. Right, so again, I'm just shouting them out this time because it really was a challenging math assignment. And then we have students who got very close. They got almost total in English and almost total in mathematics. They just missed it by a shade. And that is Andian, or they are Andian Joseph, Sydney Slater, and Javon Stephen. So again, congrats to you guys for your efforts. And all of these are names, well, most of these are names that we see regularly on the program in these top achieving charts, all right? And of course, all the time new people come in and go out, people go up, they drop down. That is how it is, right? That's the nature of it. And then in the creative writing, well, we had fantastic creative writing, I have to say, over this week or last week's submissions. Right? We had many students who really impressed us with their writing, and again, some of these are names we've seen many times before, and some are names that are new. We have Kabir, Dejon, Kimani, Hala, Destiny, Caitlin, Josiah, Caitlin Bernard, Davy, Bodram, sorry about that typo there, Taran, Talia, Javis, Andian, Joseph, Sachin, Christian, and Javon again, who was very close to getting total in both ELA and math as well, right? So well done, Javon. So that is our report. I know that you all look forward to that report every week, and we look forward to doing it for you as a means of encouragement. And as we have to remind you every time, even if you don't make it up there on the list, I mean, you will eventually if you keep trying, and at any rate, you are going to improve if you keep aiming for that top percentage, right? So we are going to make those numbers now available to you, and you are going to help me today to complete some questions. We have about 15 or so questions to do today, and we might just go over a little bit into the time for creative writing if we don't get it done before, and then Ms. Nyla will be joining us to read those fantastic creative writing pieces that we just mentioned, and we may even have some that weren't so great, but of course we will give you the feedback necessary, right? So again, those numbers are there on the screen for you to call, and we will begin as soon as we get our first caller. We like to have you read the question now. It's a good way, you know, to practice your interpretation skills of the question on your own when you read and understand. And, you know, just a little light practice in reading as well. Reading is always good. You can never go wrong reading anything, actually, right? It's going to help your writing skills, your speaking skills, and so on. So we have here a question, and those numbers are there up on the screen. And I'll wait a couple seconds more, and if not, I will begin to read it. But I do have a caller on the line. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to See Results on IBN TV.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. And who am I speaking with?
Zafira.
Welcome, Zafira. So, Zafira, can you read this question for me, please?
Yes. Two bags, A and B, shown below have cards with numbers. Cards with numbers between 5 and 10, cards with numbers between 10 and 15. One card was drawn from each bag. The card from A is the smallest composite number. The card from B is the largest prime number. What is the product of the two cards that were drawn?
Yes. So we have two bags, Zafira, and we have to determine what is the smallest composite number in bag number 1 or bag A, and what is the largest prime number in bag B. So what do you think those are?
Composite numbers are numbers that can be divided by 2.
Okay, numbers that can be divided by 2 are even numbers, right?
Yes.
Right. So not all even numbers are composite numbers. Well, most of them are actually, but we do have one even number, which is the number 2. That is a prime number, right?
Yes.
So 2 is a prime, and it is even, and therefore it's not composite. But yes, most of the even numbers are composite numbers. But, okay. So what do you think is the smallest composite number then, between 5 and 10? And I'll give you the explanation why just now. All right, let me give you another hint. It is the opposite of prime. What is a prime number?
A prime number is a number that cannot be divided by 2. It can only be divided by 1 and itself.
It is only divided by or divisible by 1 and itself, right?
Yes.
Right. And again, 2 is a prime number, and 2 is divisible by 2. So don't think about it in terms of divisible by 2 or not, right?
Yes.
Here's how you should think about it. A prime number has only 2 factors, which is 1 and itself, right? And a composite number has any amount of factors more than 2, right? Once it has more than 2 factors, it will become a composite number, okay?
Yes.
Right. So let's think about this a little bit, because I know there are a lot of students, even at the higher levels, who get problems with this, right? Is 5, the number 5 in bag A, is it prime or composite?
Prime.
Prime. What are the factors of 5?
1 and itself.
1 and itself, right? 1 and 5. Remember, we're looking for composites. Now, what about 6? Is 6 prime or composite?
Composite.
Why composite? What are the factors of 6?
2, 3, and 6, also and 1.
And 1. So 1, 2, 3, and 6, right?
Yes.
So therefore, would that not be the smallest composite number in bag A?
Yes.
Right, because after 5 is 6, right?
Yes.
All right, so we don't need to go any further. And now we want to get the card from B that is the largest prime number. So let's
19.
start from 15 and work our way back, because we're looking for the largest one, right?
Yes.
Now, is 15 a prime number?
Is
Is 15 a prime number? Give me the factors of 15 if you can.
1,
Yes.
3,
Yes.
5,
Yes.
and 15.
Right. And that's more than 2, right?
Yes.
So is 15 prime?
No.
No, because if it was prime, the factors would only be 1 and 15, right?
Yes.
What about 14? Is 14 prime? And again, the way to do this is to just try and list the factors. So what are the factors of 14?
1,
Mm-hmm.
2,
Yes.
7,
Right.
and 14.
Very good. So is that prime?
No.
Right. So let's move to the next biggest number now. What about 13? Is
The
13 prime?
number.
What are the factors of 13?
1 and 12.
Right. So therefore, the largest prime number is 13. And remember, these are the smallest and largest within the numbers that we are given, right, audience? Within the numbers that we are given, between 5 and 10 and between 10 and 15. So now we want to get the product of these two cards, Zafira. So what does product mean?
I'm working it out.
Okay.
$78.
Right. And product means to multiply, right?
Yes.
All right. So our answer is 78. And you understand why now?
Yes.
All right, Zafira. Thank you very much for calling.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. So, right. That was a very, very teachable moment there, right? What is a composite number? What is a prime number? And again, the prime numbers, they only have two factors, one and itself.
Please
and
hang up.
composite numbers, any number that has more than two factors, all right? So, and don't mistake it with even and odd, right? Don't mistake it with even and odd. That is something different, although there will be overlap between them, okay? So let's look at another question here. I see that I have a caller, so I will take it. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to See Results on IBN TV.
Hello,
Hi, good afternoon.
this is Jaden.
Hey, welcome, Jaden. So, can you read this question for us, please?
Okay. A box has 400 marbles. There are twice as many red marbles than blue marbles in the box.
Yes.
The rest of the marbles are green. What percentage of the marbles are green if there are 80 blue marbles?
Right. So, what are your thoughts here?
So they give you the amount that is blue, and they said there are twice as many red than blue. So you multiply 80 by 2 to find out how many red marbles are there.
Okay. And what is 80 by 2?
160 red marbles.
Right, 160 red. So that is blue and that is red. And how many marbles do we have in total?
400 marbles.
400 marbles. And we want to get the percent of green, right?
Yes, sir.
And what does the question say about green? The question says that the rest of the marbles are green, right?
Yes, sir.
So how do we figure out how many green marbles there are?
So you could add the amount of the red and blue and then subtract it from the total.
Yes, and that would be correct. So we have to add the red and blue. And what would that give us?
I'm working it out.
No problem.
Here we get 240 marbles.
Right, 240, and that is blue and red. And
Yes,
you are
sir.
saying that green, we have to subtract it from the total number of marbles, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can do that one for me as well.
And then we get 60 marbles.
You'll get how much? Jaden?
Yeah, that's what I'm working it out.
Okay.
Here we get 160 marbles.
Right, 160, so that is green. And we
Yes,
want to
sir.
know the percent of green marbles in the bag now. So what is our next step, Jaden?
Here we put, the amount that is green, which is 160. and you know the total, so you put 100 over 400.
160 over 400, and we multiply by
100 over
100 over 1. So you work out that for me, and that will be our answer.
yes, sir. Try 40%.
40%, and that would be absolutely correct, Jaden. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you so much for calling.
You're welcome.
All right, so again, this one was sort of straightforward, but again, easy to make mistakes if you are not careful. Right, so the box has 400 marbles, twice as many red than blue, and then the rest are green. We are given the number of blue, so therefore we can work out the number of blue and red together. Red being twice blue, we multiply, get 160, add them together, then we have the number of blue and red together, and the rest are green. So we subtract it from the total number of marbles, which is 400. We get 160, and the percent, we have to put that 160 out of the total number of marbles, which is 400, multiply by 100 over 1, and that's how we get 40% as our answer. So we have another question here. Let's take our next caller to see if they can help us. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, and who am I speaking with?
Zafira again.
Welcome back, Zafira. So Zafira, can you read us this question, please?
Yes. In a sale, a customer gets a 15% discount of the regular price of the television shown. The customer must pay VAT of 12.5% on the discounted price. How much does the customer eventually pay for the television?
Right. So what are your thoughts?
So first I will find out how much the discount is. So I will put 15 over 100 multiplied by 7,200 over 1.
All right. And when you have an answer for that, you will let me know, right?
Okay.
And of course, our audience at home, you all need to be working this as well.
I got 1,080.
Right, so 1,080. Is that the, how much the television will be priced at now?
No.
That is what?
That's the discounted price. That's the discount, how much the discount is, so you have to minus it from the total.
Right, and that will give us the discounted price, right?
Yes.
Okay, so 7,200 subtract 1080.
$6,120.
All right, that is our discounted price. And the question wants to know what we'll pay, or what the customer will pay eventually. What else is being applied to the price of this television here, besides the discount?
That's 12.5%.
Excellent. So we have to calculate VAT on what now? Do we calculate VAT on 7,200?
No.
We calculate VAT on?
$6,120.
Right. So, and 12.5% is what again?
Is equal to 1/8.
1/8. So we'll be finding 1/8 of 6120, right?
Yes.
All right.
get $765.
Right. So the customer has to pay VAT of $765. Now, what would therefore be the final price? How do we get the final price?
You add how much the discounted price was to the VAT.
Very good. So 6120 plus 765, right?
Yes. Which gives you $6,885.
Right. Excellent. So that is the final price that the customer will pay, $6,885. All right, Zafira, thank you so much for helping.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. So a quick run through once more. We have the regular price of the television here, $7,200. The customer gets a 15% discount off of the regular price, and the customer must pay VAT of 12.5% on the discounted price. So how much does the customer eventually pay for the television? The first step is to find the discounted price. Now, Zafira took the approach of calculating 15% of $7,200 and then subtracting it, which is totally legitimate and a shortcut. Instead of having to work the discount and then subtract it, right? Remember, the regular price is 100%. If you are getting a discount of 15%, therefore you will be paying 85% of the regular price of the television. So if you calculated 85% of $7,200, that would have taken you directly to the discounted price of $6,120. And again, the customer must now pay VAT on the discounted price. And the VAT is 12.5%, which, as we remind you all the time, is equivalent to 1/8. Right, so we found 1/8 of that, $6,120, got the VAT and added it to $6,120. Another way you could have done it is multiply the $6,120 by 1 and 1/8. All right, that 1 in front of the 1/8 would represent the $6,120. So you multiply essentially by 9/8, and you would get the full price with the value added tax built into it if you multiply by 9/8 instead. So those are just 2 points to note. If you're short on time and you need to do it a little bit faster, you can just calculate the discounted price by subtracting the discount from 100 and multiplying that. And you can just multiply by 1 and 1/8 to get the price with the VAT. Okay? So let's do this question and then we'll take a short break. I see I have a caller on the line. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to See Results on IBN TV.
Good afternoon, so it's Aaron.
Hi, good afternoon, Aaron. And how are you doing today?
Good.
So can you read this question for us, please, Aaron?
Yes. You can zoom in a little.
Yeah, sure. You will see it zoomed in very shortly.
For every 4 seedling that a farmer buys at full price, he gets the 5th plant and half price. The regular price of a seedling is $4.50. How much money did the farmer pay if he received a total of 300 seedlings?
Right. So thank you, Aaron. So what are your thoughts here, Aaron?
Okay, for every 4 seedlings that... You could give me a second to understand this song?
Yes.
Okay.
And you can tell me what you are thinking. We will help you out if you are going along the wrong path, right?
Yes.
So which?
Half of 450. First you have to do half of 450.
Okay. Half of 450 is how much?
Half of 450 is $2.25.
Right, so $2.25, right?
Yeah.
Okay, right. Now this is something that we need to know in order to solve the question. Would not necessarily be the first thing I would solve, but I would want to know now, what are we going to do with this $4.50 and this $2.25 and why?
I had on it.
Add it?
Yeah.
All right, so okay. So here's what's going on. I'm going to give you a little assistance now, right? So
Yeah.
for every 4 seedlings that a farmer buys at full price, which one is the full price?
The full 5.
Yeah, which one of these prices is the full one?
Well, you have to add $2.25 at 450.
Okay, no. So the $4.50, that is the full price of a seedling. All right?
Yeah.
And the $2.25 that you worked out, that is the half price seedling. Good?
Yeah.
Right. So every time the farmer purchases 4 seedlings,
Oh, it had to be one group equals $6.75.
no, we're not adding them together. Every time the farmer purchases 4 seedlings at $4.50, when the 5th seedling or the seedling after that, they will get that seedling for $2.25. So in other words, some of the seedlings are being sold for $4.50 and some are being sold for $2.25. All right? Now we need to figure out how many of these seedlings were sold at $4.50 and how many were sold at $2.25. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
So, right. So essentially, every 5th plant or every 5th seedling is sold at half price. So how many seedlings did the farmer purchase altogether? Just look at the question carefully and you will see how many seedlings the farmer paid for.
For 300 seedlings.
Right, 300 seedlings. So how many times there would be a 5th seedling in that 300? What do we have to do to know that?
Multiply by 4.
No, we have to divide, not multiply. And
Divide 4 divided by 300.
all right, so you're almost there. But remember, it's not the 4th seedling that is half price, it's the 5th seedling. So we have to divide by 5, all right?
Yeah.
Right, I know that they say every 4 seedlings and you're fixated on that 4, but there's more to it, right? So every 4 seedlings that the farmer buys at full price, she gets the 5th at half price. So we have to divide 300 by 5, okay?
Your dad will give you 60.
All right, very good. So the farmer will be purchasing 60 of the seedlings at what price?
At
She gets the 5th plant at, what does the question say?
at $4.50.
Let's read the first sentence again. For every 4 seedlings that a farmer buys at full price, she gets the 5th plant at half price.
Half price.
So therefore, she's getting 60 plants at
$2.25.
right. $2.25 she will pay for 60 of these plants, all right, or 60 of these seedlings. And she will pay how much for the rest of them?
How much for the rest of them? You have to take it away.
Right. Okay. So
300 from 60.
right. 60 from 300 will give us the regular price seedlings, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have 60 half priced. And now we want to know the full price. How many full price seedlings?
It will be $240.
Yes. So we say 300 take away 60 equals 240. So we have 240 at full price and 60 at half price, right?
Yeah.
All right. So just remind me again, how much is the full price seedling costing per seedling?
$4.50.
Right. And the half price seedling is going at?
$2.25.
Excellent. So what do I have to do with 240 and what do I have to do with 60?
We have to do to $4.50.
Right. Which of those two I have to multiply by $4.50? 60 or 240?
240.
Right. So go ahead now and multiply 240 by $4.50 and we'll get how much we have to pay for the full price seedlings, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you go ahead and work on that. And the audience at home too.
$1,080.
How much?
$1,080.
Right, 1,080, right? So I multiply there by 450, but of course that's because I moved the decimal point 2 places to the right. I have to move it back 2 times, 2 places to the left, right? So that's how we got $1,080. So that is correct. And now we have to find for the half price seedlings. So what do we have to multiply by 60 to get the half price, the price of the half price seedlings?
60 multiplied by $2.25.
Very good. 60 multiplied by $2.25, right? So again, you can work that out for me, as well as the audience at home.
$135.
Right, $135, right? Okay. So what would be our total cost therefore, Aaron? Or the total?
We have to add.
Right, so we have to add the cost of the full price and the half price. So we'll be adding 1,080 to 135, right?
It will be 1,250.
1,215?
215.
Yes, you would be correct. All right?
Yeah.
All right, Aaron, thank you so much.
Welcome.
All right, so that was a rather long one there and a lot of thinking to be done. All right, so just to recap. So for every 4 seedlings that a farmer buys at full price, she gets the 5th plant at half price, not the 4th plant, the 5th plant at half price. The regular price of the seedling is $450. How much money does the farmer pay? If she received a total of 300 seedlings, we have to figure out how many of those seedlings are half priced. Every 5th seedling is half price, so we divide the total number of seedlings by 5 and we will get 60 seedlings that are half priced. We subtract those from the total amount of seedlings, which is 300, and we will get 240 full priced seedlings. So we have to multiply 240 by $4.50 to get the cost of the full price seedlings, and we have to multiply 60 by $2.25 to get the price of the half price seedlings, and then altogether the farmer would pay the 1080 plus the 135, the price of the full price seedlings, and plus the price of the half price seedlings, for a total of $1,215. So that's accurate. And thank you so much for that help, Aaron. Now we're going to take a break for about 2 minutes and we'll return with more mathematics. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Good afternoon, assalamu alaikum, and welcome back to See Results on IBN TV, as well as the IBN TV Facebook page and the See Results Facebook page. So we're working through our practice paper in mathematics. We've gotten to number 30 at this point, and we're just going to keep pressing on, all right? Those numbers are there available for you on the screen, so feel free to give us a call and to assist us in answering our questions. So I see I have a caller on the line. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to See Results.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon, and who am I speaking with?
Javen.
Hi, Javen. How are you doing today?
Good, and you, sir?
Not too bad, not too bad. So, can you please read us this question?
Okay, you could zoom in, please.
Yes. Let's give it a moment.
Okay, Christopher bought 20 umbrellas for $400. He sold half of the umbrellas and made a profit of $8 on each. At what price must he sell each of the remaining umbrellas to make an overall profit of $150?
All right. Excellent. So, as soon as you've taken that in, can you kindly give us your thoughts?
Okay, so first things first, I'll find the cost of one umbrella. And to do that, I'll say 400 divided by 20 to give me $20.
All right, so 400 divided by 20. So it's $20 per umbrella that this Christopher paid, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. And what next?
And since they said he sold half of the umbrellas and made a profit of $8 on each, I would say 20 divided by 2 to give me 10.
Right. So half of 20 is 10.
Yes, and then I go and say the 8 are $20.
You're going to do what with the $8 and $20?
I'm going to add them.
All right.
Right, to give me $28, and then I multiply that by 10.
Mm-hmm.
It gives me $280. And since we said out at what price must he sell each of the remaining umbrellas to make an overall profit of $150, I go and add 400 and 150 to give me $550.
Okay.
And then I'll say and then I will say 550 take away 280 to give me 270.
Yes.
And when I say that, and when I say 200, and then I would say 270 divided by 10 to give me $27.
Excellent. $27 is the answer to that question. Well done, Javen.
Thank you, sir.
All right, you're welcome. All right, so I kind of deliberately stopped working there because I gave him an opportunity to show us his method, which was absolutely fine. All right, so what he did there, he figured that half of the umbrellas is $10, $20 was the price per umbrella, right? So they sold half of the umbrellas, meaning these 10 umbrellas, with a profit of $8 on each. So he added that profit of $8 to the cost price to get the selling price of those 10, which would have been 28 multiplied by 10, which is $280. He added the total profit that was made from the sale, that was made from the sale of all 20 umbrellas to the cost price for the total, which was 400. And he said 550 take away 280, which is 270, and he divided that by 10 and got a cost, he got the the selling price of $27 for the remaining umbrellas. All right. So I would have done it slightly differently. So he sold half of the umbrellas and made a profit of $8 on each. And as Javan said, the price, the number of umbrellas or of half of the umbrellas is 10. And the profit is 8. Therefore, the profit made from selling those 10 would be 10 by 8, which is equal to $80. Okay. And at what price must he sell each of the remaining umbrellas to make an overall profit of $150? So we already have a profit of 80 on the board. So therefore, the remaining profit to be made is 150 take away 80, which is $70. All right. And there we have 10 umbrellas left, so we divide that 70 by 10, and you'll get $7. That has to be the markup on each of the umbrellas, and the cost price of an umbrella is $20. So we add 20 plus 7, and we will get 27. All right. Both very valid approaches, Javan's as well as mine, and it's good that you got exposure to both. All right, but this one involved a little less working on addition and subtraction and so on, right? Some simpler numbers to work with. But of course, both of them are accurate. So well done, Javan. Thank you for your answer. So we have here now a measurement type question. And we're going to take the next caller on the line to assist us with this. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to See Results on IBN TV. Good afternoon, caller.
Yeah, sir.
Hi, good afternoon. Welcome back, Jaden. So would you read this question for us, please?
Yes, sir. Calculate the area of the shaded portion of the shape shown below.
Right. What are your thoughts?
So the shape that shaded looks like a triangle.
Yeah. Yes, it is a triangle.
Yes, sir. So and to find the area of a triangle, you multiply the length, no height, multiply by base and divide it by 2.
Very good. And do we know the height and the base right now?
No, sir.
All right, so help me to figure those out.
So I think I could subtract 12 from 24 to find out the length of the base.
Yes, that is correct, because it is a rectangle here that we are seeing. All right, so therefore the opposite sides will have the same length, right? So we
Yes,
have 24 underneath, therefore it should be 24 on top. So we take that 12 from 24, and how much is that?
12 centimeters.
Right, so it's another 12 centimeters there. All right, of course, this is not drawn to scale. And what would be the height of the triangle? You there, Jaden?
Yes, sir.
What do you think the height would be?
So I think I could subtract
So just now you subtracted 12 from 24 because the opposite sides should be the same length, right?
yes, sir.
And aren't we using the complete breadth of the rectangle here for our height
Yes,
of the
sir.
triangle?
Yes, sir.
So what would that be equal to?
10 centimeters.
Right, very good. So that is also 10 centimeters, right?
Yes, sir.
And you said to calculate the area of a triangle, you have to multiply the base and the height, or base by the height, and divide by 2, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so what would that be?
So 60 centimeters.
All right, very good. So 12 by 10 divided by 2, or 120 on 2, and that is 60 centimeters. 60 centimeters?
So 60 centimeters square.
Right, very good. Never forget
So I
the
could
square.
try the next question.
All right, let's see. You know what? I'll give somebody else this question, Jaden, but do call back, right? Because we're going past 6 o'clock today.
Okay, sir.
All right. All right, so we have another question here on the board. And do we have another caller? Right, very interesting question here. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to See Results. Hi, good afternoon. All right, so of course, guys, do remember that when you are calling us, you need to mute your television or whatever device you are using and listen to us on the phone, right? So we'll be in sync and there won't be any feedback, and you can, of course, rewatch the video on Facebook or YouTube, or even replay it on cable afterwards if you want. We have that function now on cable, right? So we're just going to wait again on a caller, and if not, I will begin to read it. This is a question involving time. I see I have a caller there. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to See Results on IBN TV.
Hello?
Hi, good afternoon. And who am I speaking with?
Jaden.
All right, Jaden. So you got through this time, all right? I'll let you go ahead. So can you read us the question, please?
Yes, sir. Richard began her swimming practice 25 minutes before Sama completed his warm-up exercise.
Right.
Sama completed his warm-up exercise 15 minutes after Karima ended her gymnastics routine. Karima ended her gymnastics routine at 3:30 p.m. Draw the hands on the clock below to show when Rachel began her swimming practice.
Yes. So what are your thoughts, Jaden? Where would you
Start trying to reason out the sum.
Are you reading it over?
No, start trying to see what I could use to work out the first part.
Right, right. Very good. And again, those of you at home should be doing the same. So So our last line tells us that Karima ended her gymnastics routine at 3:30 p.m., right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And who else do we have a relationship here with Karima in terms of time? The first line says Rochelle began her swimming practice 25 minutes before Samir completed his warm-up exercise. So that doesn't tell us anything about Karima.
No. So Samir and Karima time is linking.
Right. So Samir completed his warm-up exercise 15 minutes after Karima, right?
Yes, sir.
After Karima ended. So what time did Karima end her gymnastics routine?
At 3:30 p.m.
Right. And Samir ended 15 minutes after Karima. Good?
Yes, sir.
So what time would that be?
So that will be 3:45 p.m.
Right. So Samir ended his warm-up exercise at 3:45 p.m. All right.
Yes, sir.
And who do we have that is linked to Samir now?
So Rachel.
Right, Rochelle, right?
Yes, sir.
She began her swimming practice 25 minutes before Samir completed his warm-up exercise, right?
Yes, sir.
And what time did Samir complete his warm-up exercise?
3:45 p.m.
Great. And Rochelle began her swimming practice 25 minutes before he completed, right?
Yes, sir.
So, and we want to draw the hands on the clock to show when Rochelle began her swimming practice. And we know that she began her swimming practice 25 minutes before Samir completed his warm-up exercise. So how do we calculate the time that she began her swimming practice?
So you subtract 25 minutes from the time that Samuel ended his practice.
Right. So subtract 25 minutes from 3:45.
3:45 p.m. Yes, sir.
And what would that give us?
3:20 p.m.
Very good. 3:20 p.m.
p.m.
So that is when Rochelle began her swimming practice. So what hands do we need to draw and where? Where does the hour hand point to?
To the tree.
Okay. And you know, if we're going to be technical, it will be a little bit after the tree, right?
Yes, sir.
And where does the minute hand point to?
To the 4.
To the 4.
Because there are 5 minutes between each of the minutes.
All right. So the hour hand at 3 and the minute hand at 4 to give us 3:20 p.m., right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Jaden. Thank you so much for your help.
Yes, sir.
All right. So with these types of questions, audience or students, we need to be looking at the relationships between, the actors here and their timings, right? How does it all link together? So, and usually a lot of the times in these types of questions, you would start at the end and work your way back. All right. So Karima ended her routine at 3:30 p.m. Samir completed his warm-up 15 minutes after Karima. So that's how we got 3:45 for when Samir completed his warm-up. And Rochelle began her swimming practice 25 minutes before Samir completed his warm-up. So we subtract 25 minutes from that time, and that gave us 3:20. And that is the time that we are requested to draw on the clock, right? The time at which Rochelle began her swimming practice. And of course, if you are unsure about time, we have done several videos on the concept of time, a good while ago now, but it is very much there on our YouTube channel. So feel free to go to See Results on YouTube and look at our videos on time. And there are questions in those videos. You look at the question, you pause, you work it out, and then you click play again and you'll get the answer. and you'll get a take on it from one of your peers, right? And of course, my correction at the end. So here we have another question, and we're going to take a caller to read this question for us. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to See Results.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon. And who am I speaking with?
Mark.
Mark?
Yeah.
All right, welcome, Mark. So, Mark, can you go ahead and read this question for us, please?
3 farmers sell tomatoes at the prices shown in the table below.
Yes.
Determine which farmer is offering the best price per kilogram.
All right, so can we zoom in on the question, guys?
I'm not zooming in.
All right, it's zoomed in now, so you just give it a moment, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, first, the other ones are, for Nicholas, you would want to divide 21. No, sorry. You would,
divide 21 by
1,750 grams.
all right, that's one way. That's one way you can do it. But I can assure you that that will cause you a lot of headache. All right, to divide 21 by 1,750. But do you notice anything about the way that kilogram is stated? How is it stated, as a what?
After a mixed number.
Right. So, can you divide 21 by 1 3/4?
No.
No?
I don't think so.
All right. Have you ever done fraction division before?
No.
All right. So I will help you, but I want you after today's episode to go and look for our mixed numbers and fraction videos on YouTube, right? Make sure and take a look at that. So I'll probably help you with this first one, and if it's too difficult for you to do right away, I'll give someone else a chance, right? So, so he paid 1 3/4 kilograms for $21. So we have to divide 21 by 1 3/4. Do you at least know how to convert a mixed number to an improper fraction?
Yes.
All right. So what is 1 3/4 as an improper fraction?
7/4.
7/4, right? Or 7/4. Now, when we're dividing and we have a whole number, we put the whole number over 1, right?
Okay.
Okay. So we have the dividend and the divisor here of 7/4. So when we are dividing, what we do is that the second fraction, or the divisor, we flip it over and we change the sign to a multiplication sign, all right?
Okay.
So we'll have 21/1 multiplied by 4/7, right?
7.
All right, so now we can do something which is called cross-canceling. So we're looking at diagonally now. The 1 and the 4 is a diagonal, and the 21 and the 7 is a diagonal, all right?
You have to divide 7 by 21.
Right, so how much times 7 can go into 7?
3.
Into 21, 3 times, and 7 can go into 7 how many times?
1.
1, right? So that is what we mean by cross-canceling. And now we multiply our numerator, or the both numerators, and we multiply both of the denominators. So what is 3 multiplied by 4?
12.
12. And what is 1 multiplied by 1?
1.
Right. And 12 divided by 1 is what?
12.
Right. So therefore, what price did Nicholas pay per kilogram?
$12.
$12, right? So Farmer Nicholas paid $12. Yes, so you think you get the hang of that there now?
Yeah.
All right, so you want to move on?
Yeah.
All right, so we're sticking with this theme of fractions here, right? What is 1.6 as a mixed number?
Hmm. 16/10.
Okay, yeah, 16 over 10, yeah. But that is as an improper fraction, right? But that's okay. That's okay. We'll move on with that. So he paid $20 for the 1.6, right?
Yeah.
All right. And you're saying that we divide them by 10 over 6, or 6 over 10, 16 over 10?
Yeah.
16 over 10 is what I said?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that is 1.6. So 1.6 is the same as 1 and 6 over 10, which is 16 over 10, right?
Yeah.
All right, very good. So what do we have to do now?
We have to turn the 1 and 6 cents into improper fraction.
Yeah, so we already did that. The improper fraction here is 16 over 10, right? And what do we do when we have a division? I just told you a little while ago.
We have to cross division.
Right. So we have to flip the divisor and change the divide sign into a multiplication sign, right?
Yes.
All right. But before we go ahead and do that, can 16 over 10 be reduced any? Can it be broken down into anything more? Anything less?
You could divide it by 2.
Right. 2 will go into 16 how many times?
8.
And 2 will go into 10 how many times?
9.
Right. So now we will flip it, right? So we have 20 over 1 multiplied by what?
By 5 over 8.
5 over 8. All right. So tell me what could cross cancel here now, my friend Mark.
You could divide 20 by 2 and 8 by 2.
20 by 2 and 8 by 2. Okay. So we'll get 4 and 10, right? Could I divide further?
You could divide by 2 again.
Yeah. So we get 2 and what?
You'll get 2 and 5.
Right.
You know, you get 1 and 5. Right?
No, you're correct. 2 into 4 is 2 and 2 into 10 is 5, right? All right, so we have nothing more that we can cancel anymore. So what we're going to do is multiply the numerators and multiply the denominators, right? So what is 5 multiplied by 5?
25.
And what is 1 multiplied by 2?
2.
Right, so I want you to change 25 and 2 to a mixed number for me, please.
12 and 1 and a half.
12 and a half. And what is 12 and a half as money, as currency?
$12.50.
Very good. $12.50. All right. So therefore, Farmer Jaden paid, or is selling, sorry. Is it selling? Yes. $12.50 per kg, right? Right. And we have Farmer Zafira left. So I wanted to stick.
Please hang up.
Oh my. So we lost Mark there. He was going so well. Mark, I hope I didn't finish mommy or daddy's credit on the phone there. We do apologize for that. And if it's just, a drop in the call, I hope that you can get back through with another question. So let me take someone else to continue this question with me. Do I have a caller on the line? Good afternoon, caller.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. And who am I speaking with?
Alex Basil.
Hey, welcome, Alex. How are you doing?
I'm good.
All right, Alex. So have you been watching so far what we've been doing with this question?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. So 1 kilogram and 500 grams for $15. How would you express that as a fraction or a mixed number, Alex?
I will express that as 1 and could you please give me a minute?
Sure. It's simpler than you think. I don't think too hard about it. Right?
1.5.
Right, 1.5 kilograms, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now we have to divide 15 by 1.5, right?
Yes.
All right, so you help me with that now. And I believe that you would have done division of fractions and mixed numbers and so on, right? With us. You have been with us for a while now. So we have 15 over 1 divided by 1.5. Now, what is 1.5 as an improper fraction, Alex?
3/2.
Right, so I have 15 on 1 divided by 3 on 2. What do I do next?
Next, you take, you find the reverse of 3/2.
Right, so we invert it or we flip it, right?
Yeah.
And what do we do with the division sign?
You take the multiplication sign,
Very good.
and then we multiply.
Yes.
Yeah, please give me a minute to work it out.
Yeah, no problem.
10.
Right. So you get 30 divided by 3, or you could cross cancel here. 3 into 3, 1, 3 into 15, 5. And you get 10 over 1, which is $10 here per kilogram, right?
Yes,
$10 per kilogram, that's Farmer Zafira. So of the 3 farmers, who is offering the best price per kilogram?
The first one?
The best price for the customer. Who is offering the best price for the customer? All right, if let's say I have a brand new iPhone 11 Pro Max and I selling it to you for 15,000, I'm just saying, right? And somebody selling it to you for 10,000. Both of them brand new. Which one you would want to buy?
The one for the lower price.
Right, because that will suit your pocket better, right?
Yeah, so then it'll be 10, yeah, 10.
And who is that? Which farmer is that?
Farmer Zafira.
Yes, Farmer Zafira, right?
Okay.
All right, thank you so much, Alex.
Okay, thanks.
All right, so Alex and Mark there in combination, right? So, yes, so at the very beginning of this question, Mark was going to divide 21 by 1,750, which is the weight of the tomatoes in grams. What we are looking for here is the best price in kilograms. And if you understand the relationship between the decimals and the fractions, all right, we can bring all of these into fractions. And it's, as you can see, it's way easier to divide here using fractions once you are familiar with the concept of dividing with fractions and mixed numbers and improper fractions and so on. And again, all of that has been covered on C Results. So do visit our YouTube channel and look up those videos, right? If you don't know. But as we saw, Mark just got, you know, a one-on-one lesson there with us. So you're dividing the cost here, $21 by 1 3/4, which is the same as 7/4. And when we divide, we have to flip or invert the divisor and multiply. We use our cross cancelling, even though you don't have to cross cancel. I could have said 21 by 4 divided by 7, and then I would have gotten the same 12 as the answer, right? Cross cancelling tends to be very handy. So the same concept here, 1.6, you know, that first place value after the decimal point to the right is our tenths, right? So that's 6/10. And of course, he just expressed it as 16/10, which is the same thing, right? 1 6/10 is the same as 16/10. And that is 8/5 if we reduce it. So now we multiply the 20 on 1 by 5 on 8 because we flip the divisor. We cross cancel again, you don't have to. All right, we could have just multiplied 20 by 5 and divided by 8, but it's the same thing. Cross canceling makes it easier. And we got 12 and a half, 25 over 2. Half of a dollar is 50 cents, all right? So that's how we got $12.50 for farmer Jaden. And then we have Zafira, who was selling $15 for 1 kilogram, 500 grams. And this is another interesting point here, right? We've learned also about mass and mass conversion, all right? And we know that a kilogram consists of 1,000 grams, and 500 grams, therefore, is 1/2 of 1,000, right? So we have 1.5 kilograms. That's another conversion here that you need to know in order to come up easily with this mixed number, all right? And again, we have videos on that, so you can please look it up on YouTube if you are a little bit shaky there. And we did the same thing, right? We took that 15, divided it by 1.5. We converted 1.5 into an improper fraction. Again, we have videos for that. And we have to multiply. So we have to divide. So therefore, we're going to flip or invert the divisor and multiply. We cross-canceled. We didn't have to. You could have said 15 by 2 is 30. Divided by 1 by 3 is 3. 30 divided by 3 is 10. Same thing when we cross-cancel. And that gives us the 3 prices to choose from, right? Determine which farmer is offering the best price per kilogram. All right, so all things being equal here, generally speaking, you know, we have to assume here that the tomatoes are of the same quality. All right, and you would want to pay less for the same thing if it's possible, right? That's what they mean by the best price per kilogram. Okay, and so this is all theoretical here, all hypothetical here, right? So that is our answer for that question. So here we have another question. This is a lengthy one, so this might be our final question depending on how long it takes us. So let's see if we have a caller on the line. Good evening, caller. Welcome to See Results on IBN TV.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening. And who am I speaking with?
Jaden.
Welcome back, Jaden. So, Jaden, can you please read this question for us?
Several bottles of capacity 1.25 liters were used to fill the container shown below.
Yeah.
What volume of water remained in the last bottle that was used to fill the container?
Right. So, what do you think we have to do here, Jaden?
So I think first thing you can find out is the volume or capacity of the box that is out there in the diagram.
Right, the container or the box, right?
Yes, sir.
So how would we find that volume?
You will multiply the 3 dimensions that they give.
Right, the 3 dimensions that they give.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you go ahead and everyone at home should be doing the same. So the dimensions here are 25 and 12 and 30 centimeters. Multiply that in any order that you like.
So I never get 9,000 centimeter cubic.
Right, 9,000 cubic centimeters. That is the capacity of the container, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well done, Jaden. And we want to know what volume of water remained in the last bottle that was used to fill the container. So, how do you think we do that?
So you can find out the capacity of the bottles.
Yes. And what is the capacity of the bottle in centimeters cubed?
Start working it out.
All right, no problem.
Say we get 250 meters cubic.
Okay, but before you went there, what is the capacity of the bottles being used in centimeters cubed? In other words, what is 1.25 liters as cubic centimeters?
So first change 1.25 to improper fraction.
Okay, you change the turn in proper fraction,
Yes, sir.
and you got, what, 5/4 liters?
Yes, sir.
And what did you do with that 5/4 liters?
Some 9,000.
Well, 9,000 is in centimeters cubed, right?
Yes, sir, but I was thinking when I answer, I should convert it
Uh-huh. So you
Yes,
converted
sir.
that to what?
to liters.
So, and that is how much? 9 liters?
Yes, sir.
All right. And now you did what? You divided 9 by 5/4?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we need to be clear on those things, right? So we
Yes,
have
sir.
9/1 divided by 5/4. And you'll get 36/5.
Yes, sir.
All right. And what were you telling me after that now? That is equal to what? 7 1/5 of the containers, right?
Yes, sir.
7 1/5 of the containers were used to fill the water. So what is that? What we are interested in is what is left in the last container, right?
Yes, sir.
But this fraction here, the 7 1/5 is what was used, not what was left, okay?
Yes, sir.
So what is 1/5 of the container? 1/5 of the container is 250 centimeters cubed or milliliters, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So each container has 1,250 milliliters in it. So you found 1/5 of 1,250, because that's what 1.25 liters is in milliliters, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that is 250 milliliters or centimeters cubed, right? As milliliter
sir.
and a centimeter cube is the same. So
Yes, sir.
therefore, if 250 milliliters was used in the last container, what would be remaining in that last container then, Jaden?
You will have to 250. So 250.
We subtract 1,200. Well, we subtract 250 from 1,250.
50.
And that is how much?
That will take out.
Okay.
So that would be 1,000.
Right. 1,000 centimeters cubed or 1,000 milliliters, or we could also write it as a liter, right? 1,000
sir.
centimeters cubed is how many liters?
So 1,000.
Right. 1,000 centimeters cubed is the same as 1 liter, okay? That's what you divided by to get 9 liters from 9,000 centimeters cubed, not so?
Yes, sir.
Right. So therefore, everything here works out and checks out, Jaden. So well done. That is absolutely correct.
So we're doing our next question, or that's it?
No, I'm just going to go over this and wrap up for today, right?
Okay, sir.
All right, thanks so much for your help, and look out for your essay. It's coming up very soon. All right, Jaden. Okay, so this was a lengthy one, yes, a very involved one. All right, and a lot of conversion between units and the use of fractions and so on, right? Here we need to know that a milliliter is the same as a cubic centimeter, and that there are 1,000 cubic centimeters or milliliters in a liter, okay? So we found the capacity of the container, which was 9,000 centimeters cubed or cubic centimeters. That was done. And then Jaden converted that to 9 liters to divide by the capacity of the bottles that were used. And he divided that, and he got 36 on 5, or 7 and 1/5. So 7 complete containers were used, and 1/5 of 1, right? So we found 1/5 of the volume of one of the bottles, which is 1,250 cubic centimeters or milliliters, right? So that worked out to be 250 cm cubed or milliliters used, and or a quarter liter even. And then we subtracted that from the 1,250, that is the total amount held in the bottle, and that left us with 1,000 cubic centimeters or 1,000 milliliters, which is the same as 1 liter. All right, so 1 liter was left in that bottle that was used to fill this container to its capacity. All right, so I hope that this was very helpful today, guys, and anything that you don't understand, please rewatch it as many times as you need to in order to understand. That's the beauty of having these lessons streamed on Facebook and then uploaded to YouTube, because you can rewatch and replay as much as you like, you know, whenever you like, wherever you like, of course, once you have internet there, right? So thank you so much for being with me today, and I know you all were really excited for Miss Nyla or myself to read you your essays that you submitted on Friday, so look out for that. That's coming up right after. We're just going to take a very short break, and we'll be back with creative writing. I will see you all on Monday, God willing. Good evening. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, guys. Welcome back to See Results. I'm Miss Nyla, and you're now joining me for creative writing. Welcome, guys. Those of you joining us at home, and those of you, of course, on our live stream on Facebook via the See Results page and the IBN TV 8 page. Welcome, and I hope you're having a great day. Right. So this week it's all about narrative style writing, as that was the assignment given on the Edmodo class. So we are going to be reading a couple of your submissions, or as many as time permits. Today, unfortunately, on Tuesday, we were caught up, doing one of those review exercises, which is, of course, really important, and I do hope that you benefit from that when you are writing your next assignment, right? So we're going to go to last day's topic, right? So let's read, and then we'll look at the submissions. During a busy holiday period, you went shopping with your parents in a big mall. You were separated from your parents and got lost. Write an exciting story about this experience. Remember to include details about how you became lost, how you felt, what you did, and how it all ended. right? And before we start reading, I just want to remind you guys, what should you keep in mind when you are about to write a narrative piece? Now, you are at the comfort of your home, so what you can do, of course, use your rubric, have that at your side, use that as a guideline, right? And I do urge you to please use it, right? Even review the videos, look at the content, what is expected from you in a different criteria. Look at how you can master each one of those, how you can earn that maximum 5 marks in each section, because essentially that is what you want to do, right? So in this case here, you are given a topic here where you have to write about something that happened, right? You went to the mall and you got lost. So let's see how some of these students approach this topic, right? Have you ever went to the mall and was separated from your parents? Well, I have. I all started on a busy Christmas morning when my parents and I went to shop. The sound of Christmas carols playing was sweet music to my ears, right? And as I go along reading, I'm going to pause, and whatever errors I come across, I'm going to mention it, right? So it's a great way to start a story, right? Right? It's a question. It really hooks the reader. It gets them thinking, well, has this ever happened to me? Have I ever been in this situation, right? Brings back some memories there, so that's good. I applaud that. Right? I all started on the busy Christmas. I do believe this is a typo, right? But let's go along to see. The sound of Christmas carols playing was sweet music to my ears, right? That's a nice touch, right? We know, so this here is taking place at around Christmas time. Christmas time being, of course, related to the topic, saying that, it was a holiday period, and when you think about a busy holiday period in Trinidad and Tobago, yes, you do tend to think about Christmas time, right? So let's think about, let's continue this piece. All of a sudden, while my parents and I were walking through the mall, the sight of a toy store caught my eyes. I decided to wander away from my parents and went to see what toys the toy store had. Right, so looking at this paragraph here, good use of transitions, right? But what I want to point out to you, look at in this paragraph, we have the word toy 3 times. Right, so instead of saying the word toy over and over, probably, of course you could use your synonyms here. So I decided to wander away from my parents. I went to see what toys the toy store had. So probably to discover what treasures were in store for me, right? So it's, it's the same idea. You're just saying it in a more interesting way, a way that, is really going to make your reader captivated, right? Make them know that, well, this child knows what he is talking about, right? He can expand on his vocabulary. Right, but that's fine, right? Of course, we are doing this so that you can improve as we go along. I quickly ran out of the store as fast as flash to see if my parents were at the same location. Unfortunately, my parents were not at the same location. I was like a lost sheep. I was very. So just pointing your attention here, I quickly ran out of the store as fast as flash to see. Right, a little bit repetitive there. So as fast as flash, you ran. You could have said that instead, right? And then you use, I was like a lost sheep. So that was a good use of a simile there. But you also use the word location twice. Right? So again, I'm repeating here, a little repetition. We are saying you can use other words to replace the ones that you have already used. Right? I was very scared as wondered where my parents were. Right? So your sentence here doesn't make complete sense. Maybe it's because when you are typing or writing, you are not rereading what you are writing, or you did not reread when you have, or when you were finished, right? So please pay attention to that. While I was looking for my parents, a man came up behind me and grabbed my hand. I yelled, "Let me go," as I gave him a karate kick to the abdomen. Boom was the sound I heard as he dropped to the ground in pain, right? So boom here, a good sound word, onomatopoeia. Right, so we're seeing the figurative language coming out in your writing. I do applaud that, right? But however, boom here does not need to be in quotation marks, right? Simply your exclamation point there will work after that word boom. I quickly ran away as fast, and I continued my journey to look for my parents. As I ran to the food court, my eyes came in contact with my parents. I quickly ran to them and gave the one big hug. I told my parents about what had transpired when I got lost. At the end, they shouted, "I am proud of you." The next day, I was reflecting on what had transpired. So again, repetition, using the same words, more than 2 times in your story, guys, you want to stay away from doing that. It gets a little, of course, not only repetitive, but a little boring, right? So, you know, of course, develop on your vocabulary. How can you do that? You can actually, you know, increase the number of books you read, right? So increase your reading habits, right? That's one way to do it. Of course, you can, I don't know, maybe pick up a dictionary, right? Maybe that's a hobby, I don't know. And learn a new word every single day, right? So if you can't learn one every day, try to learn at least 5 new words for the week, right? I am strongly suggesting something of that sort. I thought to myself that you must not be scared and face your biggest fears, because once you believe in God, He will always protect you. Now, that's a nice way to end it, right? On a positive note. But throughout your story, you did not really indicate to us, well, you know, you were relying on, you know, what you know and about your godly intentions or any of that sort, you know, to tell us, well, this is where you were heading, right? But it was a great introductory to your story and a great ending, right? Different, bit original, and I really do like that. So this was written by Jaden KB, and he requested as we read or read his piece on air, of course. So Jaden, I hope you were locked on. I know you were there for mathematics, right? And so did mention that I will be reading your piece. So it's actually time for Maghrib, so I'm going to take a short break. When we come back, I'm going to continue with submissions. So stay tuned with us, guys. Look out for your submissions. Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, guys. Welcome back to See Results. I'm Miss Nyla, and you're rejoining me for creative writing. Right, so just before the break, we started looking at submissions, and now we're going to continue. Right, so far we only read Jaden KB's, and now we're moving on to another submission. Now, this one, I want you to pay close attention to how wonderfully written this piece was done. Right, so this was a great job, and I want you to take note, take example. And I hope, the writer of this piece, of course, is going to be really proud. Not only did he perform really well, it was an outstanding piece, something that you want to read, maybe reread, use as an example for others, right? So let's take a look. Wonderful, marvelous, unbelievable. I kept mumbling to myself as I was feeling exultant that my parents and I were marching through Gulf City Mall, shopping complex like zesty soldiers. As we chatted blithely through the crowded complex, I noticed the mall was swarming with shoppers and bursting at its seams. The radiance of the mall caught my eyes, the beaming and colorful lights flickering to the beat of the music. Huge evergreen trees were decorated with the likes of candles, apples, and nuts. Figurines the size of giants from fairy tale stories standing still with the Christmas colors, red, green, and gold. Right, so let's pause there. Let's look at the figurative language used throughout this piece, right? And not only figurative language, but also descriptive language, right? Look at the description here of feeling, right? So feeling exultant, complex, like zesty soldiers, right? So it didn't say lively, it didn't say active, zesty soldiers, which means the same thing. But this is what I'm talking about when you expand on your vocabulary, right? Replace boring words with words that are interesting. Right, let's move on. The radiance of the mall caught my eyes, right? So it didn't say that, the mall was bright and it had lots of decorations, right? This is an improved way to say that. The beaming and colorful lights flickering to the beat of the music, right? That creates imagery. You can see, you can picture what is happening here. The evergreen trees were decorated, right? And goes on to tell you how it was decorated. Figurines the size of giants from fairy tale stories. Right, so things come into life, how you would see it, how you would picture it, standing still with the Christmas colors. While perusing the mall, my parents warned me not to leave their eyesight. Unknowingly, because of the eye-catching decorations, I did not even realize that we were separated. When reality struck that I was alone in the mall, my mouth curled into a pleasant smile, and my heart was thumping wildly. Now, at this point, you are thinking, well, why will somebody smile pleasantly? Right, you just figured out you were separated from your parents. At this time, you may be lost. Why are you smiling pleasantly? But this is a great way, right? If you go on reading, which we are going to do, of course, right, you're going to see how this reader turns the story around. Writer, not reader, sorry. This was every child's dream, alone in a mall with money at Christmas time. Paralyzed with excitement, I suddenly ran as fast as my legs can carry me. Quickly, I approached the arcade where my eyes lit. I felt as though I was in heaven. Initially, I played my favorite game, ping pong. After 10 minutes of playing, I went to play Deal or No Deal, car racing, and Street Fighter. After 30 minutes in the arcade, I left and entered the candy shop. Upon entering the shop, I heard sounds coming from newly popped popcorn, the smell of cheesy nachos waiting to be eaten. I ate my heart out from popcorn, ring pop, cotton candy, and Skittles. The adrenaline coursed through my veins, my heart beating so fast and pounding so hard that it felt as if it was going to break through my chest. Right? I'm just going to pause here and reread this line. The adrenaline coursed through my veins, my heart beating so fast. Right? So we just need a comma after the word veins there. The adrenaline coursed through my veins, my heart beating so fast and pounding so hard that it felt as if it was going to break through my chest. All this time, I did not miss my parents for a second. Furthermore, I heard Toymat, the toy store, hypnotizing me and calling my name in a harmonic sound. Whoa, this remote control McLaren car looks so cool, I exclaimed in exuberance. Fascinated by these lovely toys, I was spellbound but could not purchase because I only had $20 left. Admiring Lego City Police, Fortnite Nerf gun, and racing cars, I unwillingly left the store. With the remaining money, I asked myself, I could buy a perfect two pieces of crispy, nice chicken and some fries and drink. Right, so let's just go back a little bit. I unwillingly left the store. With the remaining money, I asked myself, right? So instead of saying, I asked myself, in this case, it should have been, I thought to myself, right? An exclamation point. I could buy a perfect two-piece, right? Or buy a perfect 2 pieces of crispy, nice chicken and some fries and a drink. Reality struck again. Only now I was weary and wanted my parents so we could return home. Panic started to engulf me and tears started to trickle down my face. A frisson of fear gripped me as I gnawed on my lower lip. After a while I stammered, I am lost. After a stranger close by heard this, without a moment to lose, she took me to the information counter to make an announcement. At that moment, a pair of panic-stricken parents came running by. Mom, Dad, I shouted when I saw them. My parents and I embraced each other in outstretched arms. I had a wide grin on my face, happy to have rekindled with my family. We all thanked the stranger for her kind gesture. This was written by Kimani Furman. He also requested that we read his piece. Right, so Kimani, job well done. Right, this is one of the better pieces you have done throughout your time with us on the Edmodo class. Excellent job. Right, couple minor errors, that's fine, but we are working on it. You know, just pay attention, of course, to the feedback that we give on the Edmodo class, of course, when we reiterate it here and so on. Right, but this was really well done. Right, so let's look at another submission. Right, so I just want to go back to Kimani's a second. Right, so looking back at Kimani's, you know, when we think about the topic, you know, some of us, you know, might think, well, this story has to be one, you know, that you're scared, you got lost, you don't know what to do, right? But look at how Kimani took the same topic and made it something pleasant, right? You know, you were interested, you were enticed, you wanted to keep reading, you wanted to find out, you know, what's going to happen next in the story. Now, it's nothing wrong, of course, if you make it one that, you know, where you are scared in that situation and don't know how to do it, right? Again, it's how you use your words, right? How you write it, all about how, and the language you use, of course, to express yourself throughout your writing, right? So let's take a look at this piece. Yeah, I screamed in excitement. Can we just go back to the screen, guys? As we entered the C3 Mall, we were smacked in the face with the liveliness and loud laughter of buzzing and bustling crowd. A grin 3 miles wide was plastered across my face as I hoped we would visit my favorite place, the arcade. Nice, great use here, exaggeration, right? Started off with quotations, right? Something exciting is about to happen. We are only here for groceries and cooking utensils, Mom stated. But Mom, I thought you said next time we go to the mall, I could visit the arcade, I whined. Groceries first, then we would consider anything else, my father sternly instructed. After we finished packing the groceries, I hastily led my parents to David's arcade. When we arrived, dozens of children, along with their parents, filled the already energized room. Making our way through the crowds of people and cool arcade machines, we finally arrived at the stunning Pac-Man machine, my favorite game. Bubbling with excitement, I eagerly sat on a cool leathery throne and started to play. The loud shrieks and screams of triumph deafened my ears, but I kept my focus. Concentrating keenly with precision, I eventually beat the game with a higher score. Thrilled of my victory, I zealously turned around to show my parents, but they were nowhere to be seen. Suddenly, all my excitement turned into a dreadful nightmare as I glanced around frantically trying to locate my parents. Meandering through the crowd inside the arcade, I scanned every corner hoping to find my parents, but to no avail. Hesitantly, I realized I had no choice now but to venture to the bustling crowd outside the arcade. Right? I do believe you used the word bustling before, so that was repeated. You can just simply use a synonym there to replace that, not overuse the same word throughout your writing. Right? It's like those words that we often come across, like beautiful and ugly and quickly, and all of those overused words we want to now stay away from. Right? The crowds buzzed around like a swarm of merciless bees under attack. Nervously, I stepped out. Just going back to the screen. Never do this, I muttered to myself as I tried to slip through the dense crowd. My eyes scanned around like security cameras. And if you could just go back to the screen a second. Trying my best to locate my parents. Are you lost? A deep, low voice emerged from nowhere. Glancing backwards, I noticed a man, 6 feet tall, looming over me with tattoos all over his bony face and arms. Horror bubbled inside of me as fear glued me to the spot. Right? So I just want to pause a second here. Remember when the person said bubbling with excitement. So again, it's a repetition of the word bubble here. So horror bubbled, right? Of course, you can just simply, just replace that expression on a whole, or of course that word by itself, right? My entire body screamed at me to flee from the strange character. Then, without saying anything, I bolted away. Back to the screen. Like a Formula 1 race car, right? So again, use of simile here, or a use of figurative language, which is great. Yearning the wind, the stranger growled and darted after me, closing the gap like a killer whale in pursuit of its prey. My eyes drifted towards the security guard standing nearby. With a burst of speed, I raced towards him. Glancing back, I noticed that the strange man had disappeared. Although confused, the guard stared at me with his large brown eyes, trying to make sense of what I was babbling about. After explaining my predicament, he asked for my parents' phone number. Just then, my parents' phone number evaporated out of my mind. Oh no! I sobbed uncontrollably as an overwhelming sense of despair washed over me. The guard comforted and assured me that we would find them. Snaking through the crowd, with me by his side, he went to the mall's PA system and announced for my parents to meet me at the mall's office. In less than a minute, my mom and dad rushed towards me and embraced me so tightly. I felt my ribcage gasping for air. They profusely thanked the guard before we left and headed home. I was relieved to be back home with my parents once more. That experience was certainly one I wish to never have again. Right? One I never wish to ever have again. Right? So this was written by Javon Stephen, or is it Stefan? Right? I'm not sure. Right? But this also was very well done, interesting from beginning to end. And again, it's a different take on the topic, right? So I like how creative some students are with this topic and the direction that they have been taking it. So throughout the story, there were different points when, you thought something was going to end, but then something else happened, right? So that was really exciting and interesting to the reader, right? So we have a little bit of time left. Let's see if we could get another one in. At the age of 10, I experienced my first Black Friday. I always thought that Black Friday sales were just like a normal shopping trip, being completely blinded by the chaos that lied within. That day, my mother was not home, in which my father had to take care of me. Right? That first line, really interesting, right? But 10 here, you should actually use a word name, right, instead of the number 10. And also, always thought that Black Friday sales, right? So Black Friday, yes, that is fine, written in capital. Sales could be written in common, that S rather, blinded by the chaos that lied within. And this last line here, that day, my mother was not home, in which my father had to take care of me, right? So you threw that in there, but it's, not completely blended in. You could have added other piece of information there or something, more supporting details, for us or for you to bring in this point rather, right? Before, my father was debating whether he should carry me with him to get the gift he wanted for his daughter who lived in Mexico. Right, so I'm just going to read that again. Before, my father was debating whether he should carry me with him to get the gift he wanted for his daughter who lived in Mexico, full stop. Right, so this is not a complete idea here. Right, unsure, he called my mother. Yes, but please don't lose her. He smiled as my mother agreed to the request. I quickly ran to my room and got dressed. Later on, we took a train and went to the largest Macy's store in New York to find the gift. You must not leave my sight, my father exclaimed, as I held onto his hand, skipping as if I was playing a game of hopscotch. Right, so I held his hand, skipping as if I was playing a game of hopscotch. So maybe a better comparison here would have been a game of jump rope, right, rather than hopscotch, because you are saying that you were skipping, right? After a period of time, we finally found the perfect gift, which was a kitchen mixer. I found it. My father screamed, galloping like an overexcited child. We headed over to the checkout counter. We were ready to go home and relax. We walked out of the store, wiggling through the crowd of suffocation, but my father forgot one thing. We were both on the escalator trying to go to the first floor. I was admiring the magnificence and beauty of the crowded environment of the mall. Deep in my thoughts, I did not realize that my father got off the escalator. I looked over to a similar-looking man and followed him. Subsequently, I got off on the wrong floor and continued following the man. While walking, the man turned around from a quick glance. Right? So while walking, the man turned around, comma. So here is an extra comma, right? Comma should not be there, from a quick glance. I was able to scan his entire face. I then realized that he was not my father. I looked down from the railings and saw my father in a panic state. I screamed his name as loud as I could, enough for him to hear me. Luckily, God was on my side. As I saw my father rushing through the crowd, I'm going to read that again. I screamed his name as loud as I could, enough for him to hear me. Luckily, God was on my side as I saw my father rushing through the crowd. There were a lot of people bounding around me, causing a lot of pushing. Scared, I ran to the escalator and held on to a pole for dear life. Right? So scared, you ran to an escalator and held on, rather, for dear life. When he finally came to save me, I saw the relief that was washed over his face. As he scooped me up and exited the mall safely, again, that's a complete idea, right? So your sentences here, you need to develop your sentences, look at your sentence structure, ensure that your sentence, right, is not just, well, not a clause rather, but an actual sentence. So as he scooped me up and exited the mall safely, that was a very scary experience for me. But looking back at it now, it was very funny. I hope not to have another experience like that, and next time I think I will stay home. Written by Leah Williams. So again, we are seeing here another direction in which the story was taken, right? An original idea, of course, very creative. What I did think about this piece, however, you know, it took a little too long to get to the climax of the story, right? So a little too much details given about the shopping of the gift and so on. Should have spent a little more time talking about you being lost in the mall and your emotions and how you felt at that point in time. Should have been explained a little more, right? So, but overall, it was a good piece. Of course, it could be improved, right, with the following or the previous tips that I just gave, of course. So, guys, we're almost out of time. Maybe next week I can probably squeeze in a couple more pieces. I know we only got to read just a few pieces, right? But I do want to remind you all to complete your report for this week on the Edmodo class. And if you're not already a part of the Edmodo class, right, just simply punch in the code there to the bottom of the screen, right, and you can quickly become a member. Now, the mathematics and English language arts quizzes have been open for this entire period, right? So we did not close those quizzes, does not have a due date, so you are free to take them. They are self-correcting, so, you know, of course, you can review the videos on YouTube first, and then you can take those quizzes, right? Just remember, our quizzes are aligned with each and every episode, right, or the weekly episode, right? So, guys, I do hope you have a pleasant evening, and I will see you guys next week for more creative writing, mathematics, and English language arts, right? Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, guys.